Hello and greetings from me, Janine Folks. And this is a Get the Pen moment. Welcome back to Get the Pen. I hope by now you have subscribed. Remember to like, remember to share, remember to tell somebody about Get the Pen on YouTube and tell them to subscribe. Janine Folks here, and today we are going to delve into this book, those inspirational articles I wrote. And there are 3 volumes to this book, and this is volume 1. That's where I'm pulling from today. Now, today's shout out is to my sister in love, Miss Erika. Erika, my sister in love, I'm so happy to be connected to her. And she is very special, very talented, very gifted, and she has a special heart. She is a counselor, coach who helps those struggling with addiction. She is a 24-hour counselor, and I don't know how she does it. And she can get calls in the middle of the night with people who are struggling with issues related to addiction. And not only that, she is a gifted poet, and I keep trying to get her to take this show on the road with this poetry. She is so good with words, and I know she's going to have a book coming out at some point with her poems and with a story, because she does have a story to tell. And I just want to shout her out and thank her for everything that she does for the community. She is a part of Narcotics Anonymous. She works for CLASS. It's an acronym, and forgive me for not knowing what it is, but maybe we'll put it in the comments so you can learn more if you are someone who is struggling with addiction and are in need of support, assistance. She or someone at her agency may be able to point you in the right direction. Thank you, Erika. Love you. And thank you for all you do, not only for your work, but for your family and for your friends. We appreciate you. So, what I kind of want to talk about today before I get into what I'm going to read, I think I'll just talk about addiction for a minute. Addiction is like, I would call it the silent, I want to say silent killer, but that's a bit extreme, even though it's real. It's not only a silent killer, but it's the silent tormentor. We all have something, and maybe some of you don't, I don't know, but some sort of vice, whether it's a drug addiction or alcohol addiction, food addiction, or some other type of addiction, something that you're doing that is not healthy, but you can't stop doing it. And you know it's not right, you know it's not good, but yet you do it anyway. That is addiction. Even the amount of time we spend on social media, and even doing other things that rob us from our time. Like, some of us are addicted to games, some of us are addicted like to social media, or other things that are just not healthy for us, whether it's physically, spiritually, or mentally. We need to be able to reach out to someone for help. There is this stigma that comes with addiction that brings shame. The only shame is trying to handle it yourself without help. That's the only thing that's shameful. Having the addiction is not what's shameful. It's the fact that you're afraid to do something about it, or afraid to seek help and guidance so that you can be set free. Some of us can't free ourselves. Some of us need help. We need somebody else helping us take these chains off of us. We can't undo the chains ourselves, and it's okay to need help. It's okay to get help. It's okay to ask for help, because one day, once you come out of this, you're going to turn around and help somebody else, because you understand, because you know what it's like to be in that predicament, and you know what it was like when somebody helped you. So you're going to be compelled to help somebody else, to get them out, to pull them out. And we each one teach one. We all have to help. We all need help. And it is a cycle. It is a circle, like a circle of life. We have so many full circle moments, and sometimes we end up in situations just to prepare us for something else, to prepare us for our calling, to prepare us to help the next person who happens to be assigned to us. So if you struggle with some sort of addiction, 9 times out of 10, you are not alone. 9 times out of 10, somebody else struggled with that. And there is somebody out there, there is a book written somewhere that can help you, something that is relatable, that can help pull you out of the addiction cycle. And it's almost like a funnel. You know how a funnel, the cyclone, is like when you flush the toilet and that funnel pulls everything down. When you are going against the direction of a funnel, it's hard to get out of that funnel. It's hard, and sometimes we need that lifeline to lift us, to pull us out. If you need a lifeline, there's the internet now. We can Google things, and be careful, of course. You don't want to just click on anything. You don't want to get any bad information. Please use discernment and wisdom when you're seeking help. You can also go look for a book. There are so many books written that are helpful, that can help us, and it's a start. I'm not saying that a book will solve everything, but it can create that momentum that will point you in the direction for the help that's going to bring you out. And it's an easy, private way to get help. And even if you are a survivor of addiction or some other trauma experience, you should be getting the pen. The pen might be the way that you pull somebody out. They may not call you. They may not come to your conference. They may not come hear you speak. They may not call you on the phone, but you can still reach them through a book. And that's the thing about books. The power of books is that someone can quietly purchase the book and read it in the privacy of their home or room or wherever they read. And you can connect with them in that way without being physically present with them. Your voice and your heart can travel through the words on the pages in a book, and it can help set somebody free. So if that is not reason to get the pen, I don't know what else I could do to convince you to get the pen, to tell your story, to share your insight, and to put it in a book so that it is available to others who might need it, who might feel embarrassed to even place a phone call or to even go to a meeting, but they might read that book and get the courage to take that next step. That's why it's so important for us to get the pen. And that's why it's so important for us to reach out, even if it's reaching out for a book, even if you're not ready to make that call, even if you're not ready to show up for that meeting or that conference. It can start with a book. We got to start somewhere. And for some people, the books are the answer. So get the pen or get the book, whatever your situation is. And you might need both. You might need to do both. You might need to read and write. Most writers read and most readers write because we have the knowledge, we have the information, and we just need to pray for that wisdom so we know what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And once we set that in motion, then we will attract the resources. We will attract the people into our lives that we need on our path toward healing, toward reconciliation, toward rescuing others. So it all falls into place, but we have to make a move. We have to get that momentum started, and it only takes one act, one move, one thing that you do that will set off a chain of events that will work in your favor, that will send you those resources. And you just have to stay on that path. Stay on that path that will lead you to where you're trying to go. But it's not going to just fall on you. It might. Sometimes ideas can fall on us, but we have to act on those ideas. We can't just sit and keep it in our head and don't act on them. It'll just lie dormant inside of you, and you probably already have the idea inside of you. You just need to act on it. You just need to activate it by making a move, by making a phone call, by picking up the phone or picking up your computer and going to Amazon and ordering a book that you need, or going to a local bookstore like the Source Books or something like that. Pick up a book. There are so many books. There's a wealth of information and inspiration that you can use to help heal yourself and set yourself free. Okay, so now my reading, and that's going to be that until next time. So I had something that I wanted to read, but now since I started talking about addiction, I feel a little different about what I was going to read. So you know what, I'm going to do this one because I hope you dance. Are you a dancer? Dancing, I have found to be healing for myself. It's fun and it's healing. So there is a story in here about I hope you dance. And you know what? I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. And there was a song called I Hope You Dance. Um, yeah, dance does a lot for us. But you know what I'm going to do, because this was the original writing that I wanted to read. And I'm going to do that, and we're going to get out of here. We're at 11 minutes and 23 seconds, and we're gonna probably be done at 15 minutes because I'm trying to trim down the time. But the title of this one is called Marry Your Best Friend Forever. Marry your best friend. If you're gonna get married, it ought to be your best friend. That's the only way. The only way. Okay, a confidant is a close friend. My confidant at the time, she heard a woman teach, and she taught that this type of friend is the type of friend that you can vomit on, and then without hesitation, she or he cleans you up and never tells a soul. That friend protects you without enabling you, and that friend loves unconditionally. Offense is quickly forgotten because love hides it. That's love, and that's true friendship. In the garden, now I have to go here. And this was years ago when I wrote this, and I still kind of can relate to this. In the garden, remember Adam and Eve? And remember Eve, she was deceived. Clearly, she messed up. Then she drugged poor Adam into her mess as well. Then, when God showed up to find out what the deal was, their first mistake was hiding rather than confronting the issue. Do any of us do that? And God said, "What happened? What y'all do?" And instead of just being honest, well, we did this, they tried to hide. That's where they first messed up, or second messed up. So we cannot be afraid of confrontation, especially where God is concerned. We have to deal with it. Hiding does not make the problem go away. It just allows it to fester. When he had no choice, Adam confessed his fear to God. He said, "We were afraid." Even though God knew what was up already, he asked Adam what happened. Without hesitation, what did Adam do? He sails Eve up the river by blaming her. He said, "She did it. This woman you sent me did it." I can't help but wonder how the course of events might have been different if Adam had been willing to reap the consequences of Eve's actions because of his love for her. If he were Eve's confidant, he may have said something like, "Lord, my wife, she messed up. What can I do to fix this? How can I make it right?" Isn't that what a real man does? He protects his wife, or a real friend. We try to protect the people we love. Adam did not try to protect Eve. He didn't. He blamed her. He shielded himself with her, even though, sure enough, she did do it. But if the love was there, he would have stepped up, but he didn't. Now, this situation reminded me of my house when my children were younger. I might ask my son to clean something up, and he would say, "But I didn't do it. I didn't make this mess. Why do I have to clean it up?" And my response would be, "It doesn't matter who did it. Clean it up for the sake of the whole house. If we're a team, we're supposed to live like a team. If you see a problem, solve it rather than trying to figure out who created it so you can point the finger. The culprit will come to light and we will deal with that. But right now, we have to make sure our ship is tight and not fight amongst ourselves. Sometimes we have to unselfishly think about the greater good. What if Adam had stood with Eve? A true friend stands with you even when you're wrong for the sake of the greater good. A good friend doesn't let you remain in your mess, but they have a way of guiding you back to righteousness, like Nathan did for David in 2 Samuel 12. I can't help but wonder how life might be different if Adam had acted like Christ. Christ came to take the brunt for our sins that he didn't even commit. He came to cover us. He didn't sin, but he paid the price for it. I am speculating here, but as a creative thinker exploring the possibilities, I said all that to say this to you. When you marry, make sure you're marrying your best friend, a confidant. Your spouse should be your confidant and your lover and the protector of your soul. Giver of romance, respect, and admiration. Marry your best friend forever. We have the opportunity to show love and true friendship in our relationship. Thank God who loves us. And that's what love does. That's what friends do. It's that Christ mindedness that you would stand in the gap, that you would cover your friends, cover the people that you love, cover the people that you were assigned to protect. Adam didn't do that, but that's just me. And this is Get the Pen, another Get the Pen moment. And I hope you come back next week. I will see you then.